So now I will start. I am starting. Okay. Hi, my name is Leah, former journalist host, and I graduated from Summit in 2022, which was last year. I now go to UC Berkeley, and I'm living in the dorms. I'm on the top bunk. And I am majoring in film and media with a minor in journalism as I'm trying to become a sports broadcaster. I got into a lot of schools thanks to Summit because I really worked hard on my essays and my personal information and all of that stuff. My original plan was actually to go to Georgia, but after I went to Cal Day, which is something I really hope you guys get to experience, I kind of saw what I would gain from coming to Berkeley. Even though I've only been here for 2 months, I've had a lot of experiences that are different from Summit, and I would just like to introduce you to some of them while also guiding you through the college application process, which is a really stressful time and it's really hard, but you can get through it. And I'm just here to kind of like help you and guide you through it. So I'll guide you through the UC application, and I'll also guide you through the Common App application, and I'll give you some college tips. Yeah. So, so you see here the UC Berkeley, or sorry, the University of California application. So I'll just like guide you through what each step kind of means. And then I'll talk about like the personal insight questions, which I think is like the most important part. So like most of this stuff is pretty general. When you see like the about you page, it's like your personal information and all of that stuff. I would just be real honest about it when they ask you like your like residential information, when they ask you about like how much your parents make and all that stuff. Just be real honest. Also when it comes to like the demographics page, which is like right here, they'll which I like there's going to be like scholarship opportunities just for like your ethnicity. So I would really like get into that. That's something that I also recommend is like applying for scholarships right now. So yeah, so for like this part, I feel like it's pretty general. um you just kind of like talk about yourself a little bit, and then when you get to like the campuses and majors part, they're gonna like ask you a couple questions. So yeah, so like when you get here, obviously this is like the part where you pick which UC or UCs that you're gonna apply to. Obviously, like, I mean, I would pick Berkeley, but apply to anyone that you really see yourself into, because again, it is $70 per campus, which is a lot of money. So pick which ones that you're going to be into and which ones you really see yourself in. I would pick What I did was I picked like I picked two reach schools, which were UCLA and UC Berkeley. And then I also applied to UC Irvine, which was still a reach school, but it was also still in my range. And then I did UCSB and I think, oh yeah, UC Santa Cruz. So those were like my still like reach, but also like my backups. So yeah, that's what you can do for that. And what's really good about the UC application is that it doesn't put in like A minus or like C plus. It just puts in A, B, C, D, or F. So I think that's really good too. So like if you got like a B minus, you could still kind of put it up to a B. So that's something that's really good about it. If you took college courses, you just kind of have to like put that in. So yeah, I know that for Test scores, you don't have to. California or UC schools aren't requiring SATs or ACTs anymore. I don't know if that's changed, but if you did take the SAT, which you probably did, put that in, because when you get into college or when you get into the UC, like you could, if you got a high enough score on your SAT, you don't have to take like an English class or anything. So that's real important. So make sure to put in your SATs if you did take it. Let's see. We did about you, campus and majors. Oh, for majors, I would if you don't know what you're gonna do yet, I would just put undeclared, because you can figure that out later, I promise you. Yeah. Academic test scores, activities and awards. So okay, so this is a really important thing to put in. So I think you can put in up to like 12. I don't know. I think you can actually put as many as you want. Your activities could literally be anything. It could be, okay, well, it obviously it has to be something, but let's say you did a volunteer opportunity in like 10th grade, put that in there, because you did, like, that is technically volunteer work. I would say a lot of like honors, Summit gives out honors a lot, so like let's say you got like student of the month, put that in there. Any extracurriculars, if you were in any clubs, any sports, any anything really like that you did after school, that was an after school program, I would put that in under extracurricular. If you did any SAT courses, or like pre-courses, then I would say put that under educational preparation programs. If you did any other coursework, so any other college classes, or maybe you took a French course or something like that, I would really put that in there. Volunteering or community service, again, like if you did any of that, put it down. Any work experience, for how long, and what did you gain out of it. So like let's say you did an extracurricular, it'll tell you obviously like what did you do, and what did you like what did you gain out of it. So put things that are really meaningful, but also like make yourself look good, because like that's kind of like what college applications are for. You're supposed to make yourself look real good. And if you have, I know people say like don't put too many extra, or don't put too many award, or what is this, activities and awards, because then it'll make it look like it's not real. But in reality, I put in everything I did. So I did do a lot, and that's why it was probably stacked, but like I put a lot in. So whatever you did, put it in there, because it's really important. Um and it'll tell you like how long did you spend on it. Be honest. Don't, like, if you only spend an hour, don't say that you spent 3-4 hours a week, like that's not the point. It's just like if you did do something other than schoolwork. So that's really the main thing that you can get out of that. Scholarships and stuff, that is so important. I think it's like not really said about enough. Scholarships are really important. Applying for them early, like now, is like real important, because I got some scholarships, and even though they were small, um it did help, obviously, because books are expensive. Everything here is like expensive. So yeah, scholarships, scholarships. Do your scholarships right now. Like as you see this, like start a scholarship, because most of them are really easy. And if you, so like if what a trick that I did was I looked up scholarships, and I went down on Google, and I went to like the 12th page, and like people want to give you money. So like it's basically like free money. I got one for being tall. Like I got a scholarship for being tall. So there's just like weird scholarships out there that you can find. Okay. Okay. So yeah, like these are important, real important, and make sure you don't lie, like spend your time on it. But I think the most important thing that you can spend your time on is your personal insight questions. Those are so important, and I believe that that's the reason why I'm here. So I would turn it in as soon as possible. Don't wait until the last minute, because I know people that didn't get their applications gone through on November 30th when it was due. So, you know, turn in them early. Okay, back to the personal insight questions. So these are like, again, real important. So you get 8 questions and you get to pick 4 out of those. So you do have a range. And give these questions a lot of thought. So what I did before I did these was that I brainstormed what I was going to do for each question. So the one that I would do, I recommend everybody doing, is just like the to make your own question, because that broadens everything. You could do whatever you want for that. So again, like if I did a really personal question that was really personalized, and I talked about family and stuff like that, and how I didn't really feel like I belonged where I was. Um, so I would recommend being very vulnerable, but also don't be vulnerable to a point where you're weak. Um, show how you gained something out of it. That is like the main thing that they're looking at. How did you grow from like a sucky situation, which they really like. So that's something that I did that one, and then I did uh the leadership one. Oh yeah, describe an example of leadership. Again, here, like in most UCs, they really like how you're a leader and how you like emerged as a leader. How do you like how do you differentiate from other people? And because they don't want to accept a random person, like they want to accept somebody that's going to bring something to their school. um it's not all about academics, like it's mostly actually about like what are you going to bring to our community. So I would say like write something and brainstorm stuff about how like you were different than other people around you. And I know that's like, oh, I don't know, but like this is your time to like make yourself look really good, and just show that you deserve to be at that school. um and then I said another one that I did was, I think, uh how did I make my school or community a better place? So I did talk about Summit. I did talk about like what I did there. And I would like use these essays to like put in what you did. What I did was that I was in student senate, right? So I was like, okay, well, I was in student senate and I helped, make this and this happen. That shows that you're like, okay, like you took action and you took leadership into something that um you really wanted to do. So put that in there. Like put like I would say like use your activities and awards thing and like kind of like make it into like an essay. So that's what I did for that one. And I think I don't really remember the last one I did. Uh I think it was it was a talent or skill, and I talked about basketball and how just like it wasn't the actual like playmaking. I think I'm pretty like I think I know I'm good, but like also like what it takes to like talk to people, talk to your teammates, be a leader, um, make sure that your teammates are good, like all of that stuff. So I think I use that and how I developed that. So I think like the main objective that you should get from your essays is that one, make yourself look good. Two, show how you grew out of like that situation. Show how you like emerge as a better person. And I would really talk about how you're different from other people and how you can be like a good person at that school and a good candidate for that school. Yeah, so I personally, I would start these questions like right now. Start brainstorming, at least. And then by like a week or two, um, start writing your essays, and start kind of like making your beginning, middle, end. Remember that they have to be between 250 and 350 words, which is is a lot, but it's also really hard to like make yourself look good in that short of time. Um, so, you kind of have to figure it out and you have to make changes. So the thing that I would do is write your essays in a Google Doc and then like write it all out. Like don't even worry about the word count, just write it all out, and then you can check your word count later and then see what you can delete and what you can add and all of that stuff, and then edit it to be 350 words. So that's really all I have for that, and then you can just like submit. Um so like this is kind of like going over how you apply, and then when should you start applying? I would literally start your essays or your application right now. Like as you see this video, like you should start it right now. um the important dates, so November 1st is when the application comes out, and then November 30th is like the last day that you can submit your UC application. So those are the really main important dates for UCs. Other private colleges are different. They have different dates, and different things that can go with it. Um, so you kind of have to check with that, and I can talk about that in the Common App one. But for UCs, just remember November 1st and November 30th. That's your day period to get this in. And I don't think UCs require letters of recommendation, but if you do want to send a letter of recommendation, like I would. Summit's really good at like doing your recommendations. Just ask them early because like obviously they have other students to do it for too. So just like I would send in a letter of recommendation, but that's kind of on you, and even if they really need it. Um, are UC Berkeley and other UCs test blind? So yes, from what I know, they are test blind. Legally, I don't even think they're allowed to look at your SATs. Like it's like a legal thing. But I mean, if you got a good score, like I would just send it in. Like if you do send in your score, they will look at it. If you choose not to send in your score, they won't look at it and they won't know, and that won't hurt your application. So just like take with that as you wish, but you know, that's kind of on you. Um what does that even mean? Like basically test blind is that they don't look at your SATs or ACTs. Um some schools are really strict about it. Some other private colleges are going to be really strict about it, and they need your SATs. But since COVID and all that stuff, they got really lenient with it. And I honestly think that they're trying to like stop that in general. So um what do you say to students who think they can't afford Berkeley? What resources are there? So Berkeley is a very expensive school, or sorry, it's a very prestigious school, but we live in California, which is a really great advantage. That already makes it cheaper. But it's also a school that has so much money. So they will give you money. And if you apply for FAFSA and all of that, which is something that you guys like almost have to do, and I think Summit's gonna make you do that. But if you do apply for that stuff, you're going to get money. So for example, like I go here and I'd only pay $4,000 a year, which is like amazing. If I went to Georgia, I would have to pay 60,000 a year. So like that's kind of how it is. I mean, that doesn't include like books and all that stuff, but it does include like food and all of that. So there are a lot of resources. FAFSA, Dream, um scholarships, all of that stuff. Like they're like people are literally like handing you out money as long as you take that opportunity and like apply for it and just like do all that stuff, you're gonna get money for any school you go to. So that's like something that's really good. So I wouldn't be worried about it. You will find a school that's going to suit you and also a school that's going to give you money. That's like the most important thing. That is the only reason why I came here. Yeah, it's a great school, but they were like they gave me money. It was so it's like you kind of have to, you know? Um the last question is how's the food? The food is literally like amazing in my opinion. People don't like it. People have different opinions, but I like the food a lot. Yeah, there's like today they have pizza and they have like different varieties, which is really good. So yeah, that's all I have for the UC one, and then I'll do the Common App one next. Bye.